Hi, this is David McCann for WebTNG. In this video, taking a look at WP Adminify. While the WordPress admin is functional, it's not an area that's gotten much love. It looks pretty dated. Getting from point A to point B often involves more clicks than it should, and there are common operations that could be streamlined. When there are multiple users on a site, you might want to control what they see and what options they have available. There are features for programmers to customize the WordPress admin, but there's no user interface built in. For these and many other reasons, there are a large number of individual utility programs available for improving the WordPress admin. WP Adminify is a plugin that combines the functionality of a lot of these admin utilities and bundles them together in a toolkit. In this walkthrough, I'll take a look at a good number of the features and try to provide enough information so that you can judge if WP Adminify will fit your needs. If you like the video, please subscribe. It helps to spread the word about the channel. Here's their website. As you can see, they have a long list of features, and we'll be looking at a number of them. This is the support area. So they have a pretty decent document library, and this is their YouTube channel. If we take a look at the pricing, these are annual prices, $79 for one site, $129 for 3 sites, $249 for 100, and then you can arrange an enterprise plan. Adminify used to have a lifetime plan. Sometime during the year it went away. WP Adminify is available now when the video is being made on AppSumo. Comes with all of the features, $59 for 5 sites lifetime or $118 for 200 sites lifetime. I created a testing site so we could put Adminify through its paces. Got the free Cadence theme, and I installed the starter site that I use for testing page builders and other plugins because it'll give us some custom post types and various plugins, so we have some things to work with here in the admin. I've installed but not activated it, so let's turn it on. So when you activate the plugin, then you go into a configuration wizard. So you can skip it, but let's just see what this is. So here's a list of all of the modules, and you can turn off any of the ones you don't want. Color mode. So right now, I guess it's on dark. It's hard to tell if that's enabled, disabled, but I think if we switch it, it goes to light. Yeah, okay. And you can upload a logo. It would be helpful to have an indication of recommended size here. So you have the option for vertical menus, which is what we usually have, but there's also a horizontal menu option. And we'll take a quick look at that. And then you can have styles for those. Then there's some admin bar settings. And there's a number of tweaks. These are optimizations or removing features of WordPress that aren't used very often anymore. Then there's some options related to admin notices. And finally, you're done. You go to the dashboard, and we're in dark mode now. So the first thing I notice is that I've got the Adminify logo here. So I guess I should have uploaded one. Some other things I notice are, like, here's all-in-one WP migration. The logo looks black, doesn't fit right. And then finally, it's kind of a deep, dark black with a neon blue text for the links. And I find that blue there a bit hard to read. We'll see if we can tweak the dark mode a little bit. Adminify uses Freemius. I'm going to enter the license key. But one thing here is they say this plugin will periodically send diagnostic data to Freemius for security and feature updates and delivery and license management. And so here it shows what information they're going to send to Freemius. A site URL, WP version, and PHP info. Then active, deactivated, or uninstalled. I'm assuming that's for the Adminify plugin, but it could be for all plugins. And then title, slug version, and is active. Now this is turned off by default, and I appreciate that the developer turned it off. This does relate, I think, to all the plugins and themes that you have installed. So if you turn this on, you would be sharing the information about what you have installed with Freemius and the developer. All right, so let's enter the license key. Here we are taken now to the WP Adminify dashboard, and we can see, they have a lot of modules, so it's pretty extensive. If we look, here are kind of some high-level menus here, and then there's a sub-menu there. Many of these things are features of Adminify, but then we get to Setup Wizard, Affiliation, Account, Contact Us, Support Forum, and Pricing. So I'm not sure why I see a pricing option here when I'm on a pro version already. Given that this is a long list, probably these things could be combined into one menu item for the account and freemius options here. If you were using this for a client, you might not want affiliation, account, and pricing to show. Freemius brings your dashboard in to your admin, your Freemius dashboard information in. There's a thing here, if this is your client site, you can click here to hide it. So I'll click there and we'll see how many of these menu items we get rid of. It says it's enabling white label mode. Let's see, so now we still have affiliation showing. There's no reason for a client to see that. If you go to account, I still see some account details here. Then this goes to the WP Adminify support forum and to their support area. So I guess that's good. This is let's see what we've got here. New post, new page, whoops, and new media. So that's the little circle menu that they've added. All right, then we have this kind of notice here, which I guess is about the most recent update. So let's hide that, and we can hide this and go here now to the main menu. What I want to look at first is some kind of theming customization options. So let's go to customize. See that these are kind of hard for me to read. All right, here we have some themes, I guess, and a color wheel where we could probably generate our own. You can change your fonts and font size and background color and button color. Let's pick one from the list. Let's try this one and save. And so I'm going to refresh. And let's see, let's go like to the plugins area. This lighter blue is easier to read for me, and we've still got the links up here that are in the darker blue. I'm guessing they're all going to kind of be that way then, since that didn't change, but we can take a quick look. Yeah, okay. Let's try turning off dark mode and go to light mode. So it tells us to save changes. Now let's refresh. Okay, this part looks pretty good. This part looks problematic. Let's go to customize and try a different theme. I think this is the default here. Yeah, okay, so I can see the menu items now with that one, but not with these. All right, so these must just be for dark mode, but that's a little funky that we lost the menus there. Hit refresh. So now we're in kind of the Adminify light mode theming. That's the look at the theming. Now if we go to the modules, you can turn this part off. So I'm going to disable it, and we'll see what it looks like. I think we go back to kind of a more traditional WordPress look. Yeah, so our menu colors here are more traditional. Next thing I want to look at is the menu settings. So we have an option here for vertical menu, which is the default, but there's some kind of horizontal option. So let's see what that looks like. Okay, this is going to require the module enabled that I turned off. So let me go back and turn that on. Now I'll go to menu settings and we'll go horizontal menu and save that. Okay, let's refresh. Custom fields and custom. I think, like we saw a flash there, there's the menu up there, but I think it's for some reason kind of being hidden here. So that's not working very well. I disabled all the browser add-ons just in case one of those was causing a conflict. So maybe it's one of the other plugins or the Cadence theme or something, I'm not sure. But let's go back and let's disable that, put it back to normal. Looks like I need to refresh here. Let's do that. Okay, so let's take a look now at the login customizer option. Here's a link for it here. Okay, so we're going into the theme customizer. And here's the login page. Let's see, we have logo options, background options, layout options, login form, form fields, button customization options, Google font, customize the error messages, custom CSS and JS, and credits, which is going to be this over here. And there's some templates. So for the sake of this, let's just pick one of these templates. This one looks nice. That's kind of a fast way to get started, and then change the logo and the credits here. So this is a pretty extensive set of customization options for the login page. I think it's about as extensive as a dedicated login page customizer plugin. So I'm kind of impressed with this. So we'll publish that. One thing about the login customizer is if you happen to use a block-based theme, it's possible that this might not be available. So that might be something they have to update, as block-based themes become more popular. All right, let's go back now to the admin dashboard. Well, let's close that. So that was pretty good looking there. Let's go next to the menu editor. That's a common thing that people need to do to edit these menus. Like, for example, All-in-One WP Migration put their admin menu here on the top level, and sometimes people want to move that under like settings or tools so that there's not such a long list. So let's go and try out the menu editor. I see that we have these, I think these are drag handles here. So we could move WP Adminify down or up. Let's see if we can drag this under there. It's not. So I can reorder the items here, but I can't nest them as I was thinking it would be nice to do. If we look at what options are here, we can change the label, the name that shows. And you have the option to hide the menu item for roles or individual users. So that's nice. And you can change the link, the URL, and you can change the icon. There's a submenu here because it has a submenu. And you can reorder these, and it has the same options there for each menu item. Okay, so that's the menu editor. There's no option here to, what's that? So that's a little funky. Let's refresh that. So that's the menu editor. Then let's take a look at activity logs. This is a nice feature, a nice utility. If you have multiple users on your site, especially multiple admin users, it's nice to have an activity log. It's also a nice security feature. Let's take a look at admin pages. That's another thing that people frequently want to do, is add a customized page to the admin. So if we go to add new, you could just use Gutenberg to create your page. If you had a page builder like Elementor or Beaver Builder, you'd have those button options to edit with your page builder. So you can totally create your pages with, Gutenberg or your favorite page builder. Here you have some menu attributes, so you can set the menu order and icon. So that's nice. You can do that right here when you create the page. And then you can remove the page title, the margin, the admin notices. You can enable or disable the page, and you can set access to the page by user roles. as well as add, custom code. So this looks pretty nice. Let's go back and take a look at some of the other features. The admin bar, one thing that I like to do that I've done and is useful is to add quick links to the admin bar here or here. But I think the admin bar is more for styles and showing and hiding some of the features that are already there. There isn't the ability to actually edit the menu items on the admin bar, which would be nice. You can customize the styles. Okay, and you can disable the bar for users and roles. So that's the admin bar. Admin columns is also something that is helpful. If you can get some extra information into the admin column, sometimes that makes things go quicker. Like here's our custom post type. So now I already have genre, for example, showing. Let's go take a look at that real quick. Okay, so they've added it here automatically. There's this folder option showing the number of comments, the date it was published, and then the post ID. Sometimes it's nice to have that. I mean, you can get to it if you hover over the title here and look in the footer. It'll give you the post ID, but that's a convenience. So you can reorder the items, you can remove them, and you can change the column type and the label and the width. So Adminify has this folder option. Normally you categorize things by your taxonomy, but you can put your posts information into folders if that works for you. I've usually seen that for the media library, and we'll go there next to see folders there. And there it kind of makes more sense to me, but maybe there's a use case for that. One feature of admin columns that might be nice is the ability to show an advanced custom field or meta box field or something on here. Sometimes that could be useful. All right, let's go to the media library and take a look and see how that looks. All right, so it's added this ability to create folders here. You can rename it, delete it, search for folders. So it gives you to start and uncategorize. This is like a taxonomy type thing. I could create a folder called book covers and move the book covers into that folder. It might be helpful, and the same for book authors and featured images, things like that, to make it a little easier to find when you needed it. Sometimes when I go and upload a logo and then 6 months later I need to use that logo somewhere else, it's a little bit hard to find. So I can see folders in the media library can be a time saver and help organize. Let's look at a couple of more features here. Admin notices. So you can hide all admin notices and move them all to dashboard notices. I like that idea. You can choose the user role you want admin notices to show for. And then there's some things that you can remove, like update notices and things like that. I don't think I have any notices right this moment, but let's see here. Oh, there is one. Okay. So I think this is nice. Let's go look at that. All right, I guess that's the notice. So I'll dismiss it. Okay. So I'm not sure why we have a bubble there. One thing I think is kind of cool is that you can customize the admin footer. You have features that you can show, like the default WordPress version, your IP address, PHP version, memory usage, memory available, and so on, and text. So it's actually enabled here, and this is what it looks like by default. That's kind of cool, and you could add your own information in here. Say you had a client, you could put your contact information or a link to your website or something there if you needed to. We looked at these tweaks when we went through the wizard, but here they are here. I usually disable a number of these type things anyway with a code snippet, so this is convenient. You can add your own custom CSS and JavaScript. There's a place to go where you can run page speed insights from within the admin here. If it keeps a history between sessions, that might be useful. Option to generate a sidebar, like a custom widget area. This Assets Manager here, this is just for WP Adminify. It's not like an optimization plugin in general for your site. There are so many features. You can duplicate nav menus, and you can duplicate posts, pages, or custom post type articles. You can reorder posts and taxonomies and disable comments. So I think I've mentioned all the features. Now let's have a little discussion and some conclusions. While WP Adminify has a large number of modules, they're not all created equal. I was disappointed with some of the admin theming features. When you first go into the admin after the wizard, the text in the default dark mode was difficult to read, and there were icons that didn't match. I put attention on giving a good first impression by making the best looking color scheme the default. That seemed to be the light mode theme. Also, some of the default color schemes appear to only work for dark mode, but they weren't labeled. Menu space in the admin is at a premium, and WP Adminify has lots of submenus related to account information. Perhaps those could be combined into one page with tabs. The horizontal menus didn't display correctly for me, and there was lag with that feature enabled. The menu editor worked well for hiding menu items as designed, but I expected a more full-featured menu editor where I could nest menu items so as to clean up the sometimes long list in the admin. While testing, I noticed a few small display glitches. WP Adminify is not a new plugin, so I was surprised to see these. However, the company seems to respond well to feedback and is working to address them. There are a good number of help topics in their documentation library and a number of videos on their YouTube channel. I was impressed with the login page customizer. You have full control to tweak it as desired. The ability to create admin pages was good, and I like that you could set the display position and who they showed for all in one place. Folders for the media library, activity logs, and the ability to manage admin notices are features that would benefit most sites. The abilities to create custom sidebars, add header or footer scripts, post duplicator, and disable comments are other features that site administrators might want to use. Many of the features of the WP Adminify utility toolbox would probably be used on sites with multiple users, such as membership sites. For that reason, a role editor would be a nice addition. In any event, I was impressed by the sheer number of features. WP Adminify includes the functionality of a dozen or more smaller utility plugins. Installing one plugin instead of a half a dozen makes plugin management easier. So I hope this walkthrough and look at the many features of WP Adminify will help you in evaluating if it's a good fit for your site. There's a text version of this video available on the WebTNG website, along with other walkthroughs, reviews, and resources. Thank you for watching.